Hello everyone, Regina here with Refuge One Herbal Teacup and more. We're going to be making some flags. As promised, I'm going to show you what you're going to need to make the flags for your space. You're going to want to measure your space. Mine is 16 feet by 16 feet. You're going to need some scissors, very sharp scissors. You're going to need, let me get up on you. You're going to need some feathers. I'm hoping that you can see these. You're going to need some feathers. You can get these at Hobby Lobby or offline. They're guinea feathers. And you're going to need some heat and bond hem adhesive, iron-on adhesive. This is the best adhesive that you can buy. Please don't settle for less, because anything else, it gooks up on you, it breaks easily, and you'll be disappointed. This is one that I've already made. You can see we made the blue. This is actually going out. We've got our feathers on the ends, and I'm going to show you how to do those with the end caps as well. So this one is done, but I'm going to show you what all you need for your project. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make one, I'd say 40 by 40. These are the white ones that we were using. And I like using chiffon because the chiffon is light, is flowy. You can wash it. It's easy to cut. It won't ravel on you. And it doesn't make a lot of sound. Oops. It does not make a lot of sound when you are swinging your flag, like satin, for example. If you would like to get a nice satin, I would recommend getting a shimmering chiffon because it's lighter, and I'll show you in a minute what a shimmering chiffon looks like. You're going to need some wooden dowels and wooden poles. I've got several here. This is 3/8 and 36 inches. Let me show you the difference in the weight. Depending on the size flag that you're going to be making, we have 4 different size rods. Let me show you. And you can see the difference. See that? The difference in the sizes. This is for a bigger flag, which is the big box flags, tail flag, mini box flags, and then this small one is for little flags, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute with those flags. I usually just stock up the rods. These are wooden. You can get the bamboo ones, but you can find these at Hobby Lobby. You can also get, you can also get the flex rods if you would like. But, you know, with the flex rods, they are very expensive versus these wooden dowels are only 79 cents a piece, whereas the wire ones are like $27. So you want the flex rods, you know, look for to paying. And not only that, they charge you by the inches. So you want to be careful with that as well. Here we have 3/8, 36 inches. This one right here is 1/4 They're all going to be 36 inches. That's 1/4. This one right here is 3/16. And then this one right here is 5/16. But they're all 36 inches. This one right here is shorter because I actually had to break it off because I'm going to be making a flag for a little person. So that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using a pink chiffon, but we're going to start with our yellow. So you're going to need your scissors, and you're going to need an iron. And chiffon is really becoming harder and harder to find. So if you find it, you may want to buy it in bulk, like I do, especially when it's on sale. Walmart has the cheapest material anywhere. Finding the material is not a problem. Purchasing it and getting out of Walmart is a totally different story. You'll need at least 2 yards to make a big flag. But since we are not going to be making a big flag, say 50 by 70, you're only going to need about 1 yard of material. So we're going to do about 1 yard material, and we're going to cut it. About 1 yard. And I mean, I've been making flags for a very long time, so you can pretty much eyeball it, 1 yard or 2. I know how big I want the flags to be, so I'm able to eyeball it. And if you see how we have this from the factory on the roll, we're going to take it, we're going to open it up, and we're going to fold it a different way. And we're going to look at it to see our cut. And you don't want it to be too thin. You want it to be fatter, the fatter side, the greater side. So we're looking at this, and what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the flags as a template. So let's do like a half moon, as you can see. This isn't a full tail, where you can use it as a template. Come back up. And I don't know if you have flags or not, but if you don't, after this tutorial you will. Okay, and so that's a little thin. So we're going to put it back. Another way. There you go. And you want to make sure that your factory side lines up with your factory side as well. That's another thing. All right. So we got the greater side now. And don't worry about whether or not you cut it straight, you know, in the ends, because you're gonna come back and you're gonna taper everything off. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. Now let's roll that up and put it away. And the size that's uneven, you're gonna actually use to put on the tips of your flag. So what we're gonna come back with, we're gonna do a moon. We're gonna start at the top. And we're gonna cut a moon for your tail flag. And this is a no-sew. Come around. I'm going to come back over the other side and we're going to do the same thing. And meet the other side. And then we're going to keep these pieces. Now, we're going to come back and we're just going to go across the top to separate them into two. All right, and now we have our two. And this is what it looks like. See? So we got two. We're going to flip it line side to you. Rounded edges away from you. Then we're going to grab our pole. And with this pole, we're going to be using the 1/4. Let's see. It might be a little thin. Let's see. Let's use make sure I don't have any that I've actually cut. Try to accommodate the little guys, and then I'm going to show you as well too. Let's use the 5/16. Let's use that one. You got to make sure that, and let me show you something. I'm getting ready to show you what I mean with the different size poles so you understand. I'm going to show you the different poles. We've got the 5/16. I'm going to tell you too about the chiffon versus satin versus the shimmering chiffon. This is the shimmering chiffon right here. If you want that shimmering look, but you don't want that sound when you swing your flags, this is what the shimmering chiffon looks like versus the chiffon. And with this, you've got the 5/16, you got the smaller poles if you're going to be making the box flags, which these are the box flags right here. And then the smallest are for little flags, you know, because little people, they like to flag too. Our children, you put some flags in their hands and watch them praise the Lord, especially if they know what to do with it. And they have mama and daddy praying, and they get to see and witness too. But that's the different size poles that you'll want to use. But we're going to use, like I said, we're going to use the 5/16. You're going to take your pole, and the way that you get these tags off of them, you have to use a heat gun because they're kind of hard to get off. So we will be using a heat gun to peel those off. And if you try to peel them off, it's going to leave a lot of glue behind. Let me show you what I mean. Because they put these stickers on here like nobody's ever going to take them off. But as you can see, you see it leaves it behind. You may be able to get it off, but you know, it'll leave a bunch of stuff. Just fight with it. So I use a glue gun, a heat gun to get that off. I'm going to get my camera angle, but we're going to just use this for now to line it up. You're going to put your stick in there, and you're going to fold it over. Just like that. You go to the end. And your tail is going to be off the one side. So what we're going to do now is first we're going to make sure that our iron is set for synthetic and nylon and silk at your lowest setting. And if you can find the heat bond, I say buy it up. Because I buy stuff in the bulk because it's hard. We've got a lot of crafters out there, and I'm going to tell you something. They do not play when it comes to stockpiling what they need to make their products. So if you see it, I would recommend getting it, whether you think you need it or not. Because better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And as a crafter, you always need those things. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down. We're going to put our tape in. We're going to fold it. And then we're going to iron it. Now if you notice, I don't have a cover on my table, so we don't need that steam. If you have a cover, you can use the steam. And then there we have our seal. Okay, so now we see that our stick is going to go in perfectly. So now we're going to fold it. And then we're going to run our tape from one end to the other. Now you will notice that you have a flat side of your tape and you have an abrasive side of the tape. So you want the abrasive side up. Okay. So you come back over and we're going to meet the tape that we put down. Slide that in there to meet it. And we're going to bring it up and we're going to bring it over. Now remember the width of your stick. And if you're not sure, put your stick back in. Because once you seal this, it's going to be impossible to put your stick in if it's too small. So line your tape and roll it over. Bring it up if you have to. This will give you an opportunity to move your tape around. If you have to bring it down some, that's okay. Bring it down some. Because you can always adjust your stick, but once you stick it, you can't adjust it. And I guess you can always go with a smaller stick. but you won't have much swinging power, because if the stick is too thin, if it's too small of a stick, your stick will break on you when you are swinging your flag. And then we're going to hold it down in place, and we're going to seal it. We're going to seal it. We go all the way down, making sure our tape stays in place. We don't want it on our iron. We're apparently running out, so we'll bring our material to us. Okay. Like I said, I deal with a lot of chiffon. Chiffon, really, the entire chiffon family. Shimmering chiffon. It's a satin type chiffon. We move our flag off of the cord. Bring this to you. And I usually do this in the other room, but there's a lot of activity going on in there, so I actually set my portable table up in here. So forgive the accommodations. This is actually my media room in here, and you notice where I do exercise. If you watch any of my videos, this is actually where I work out. So I had to take up my mat to make room so that I could fulfill the promise of showing you guys how to make the tail flags. So, and then you just come back out and be very careful on your end. Make sure that you can move your stick in and out with no problem. Okay, and let's move our stick to the very end, because once you seal it, it's kind of hard to unglue it. Okay, and then we're just going to go back down the entire flag pole, all the way back down, and seal it. Now, you can leave an opening so that you can take it out and wash your flag. You'll be able to wash your flag. And then just simply put it back in when you're done. You can hand wash them. You don't have to wash them at all, but make sure you leave a slit. We can come back in and seal this really good. But first, let's put this down. Now we're going to go in when we use steam. Let's see, because I've not been the only one using my iron these days. But let me put some water in it, because from what I can see and from the setting that it was on, somebody's been using it. It's kind of like driving a car and never putting any water or oil in it. Not good, not good at all. Let's see if we can get that steam to come up now. Okay, and we're gonna go back down the entire flagpole, bring it to us. And then we're just going to go over it a little bit so it won't be wrinkled, because you see all the wrinkles in it, everything. Just iron do at the end, you see you got a little steam. It's a little moist, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll come back. I'm going to show you how to seal the ends, show you how to put that end cap on. So bear with me. Okay. These are the end caps. Another thing you're going to need is you're going to need a glue gun. I have already made my end caps. And the end caps look like this. All they are of drops of hot glue. See that? And they're just different sizes depending on the size stick that you use. See that? And that's what we're going to put on the end to seal our flag. And we're going to measure our flag when we're done. So we're going to come here and we're going to take our lighter. We're going to heat the end until it closes, just like that. Okay. And you're going to take your cap, find one that fits, an end cap. And all you're going to do is you're going to hold it up. Put your tip on, heat your wax a little bit, position it on there, and just kind of squeeze it in place. Oops, made a liar out of me. Squeeze it in place. Okay. There you go. You just squeeze that tip on the end, and then that's what it looks like. And this is where we're going to put our feather on the end too, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. The ragged edges. All we're going to do is we're going to come down with our fire. We're going to make those edges straight as an arrow. You don't have to hold it on there long, just long enough to fray those ends. See that? And then this is what it looks like on the tip. See that? On the tip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back. We're going to pick us out a guinea feather. And this is blue. And if you need to apply the iron again, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. Okay. Just apply it and close it off. And then come back and straighten it up. That's what you gotta do. With your leftover material. You're just going to take some leftover material and you're going to cut it in a strip. Cut it in a strip like that. You just need a strip. I hope you can see this. I'm not behind the camera to make sure. And you're going to fray the ends just a little bit. Just like that. just a little bit. And the guinea feather has an eye. Ooh, where am I? Has an eye on it. We're going to take that eye and we're going to thread it. Bring our ends together like that. Make sure their material is going the same way. And that's what's going to hang on the tip of our flag. So let's put it on the tip. Now we're going to take it. And all we're going to do is we're going to heat up that wax a little bit. Just a little bit. Then we're going to stick it. And stick it on. Just like that. And then we're going to come back with one more. We're going to stick it on there. So bear with me. I'll make sure that everything is going the right way. Make sure it's going the right way. Hold it in place. Put your fire on. Bring it down. Apply it on the end. Cut off the excess. And then even it out. Just like that. Even it out. And we're going to seal it with an end cap. Just like that. Try not to get your thumb caught like I did. I'm going to melt it all together again. Cut off any excess. It looks gaudy. There you go. This is my flag, so I can do this. I can do this. Because this one's mine. That's going to be for my space. And there's our feather. Our feather is on. Let's see if you can see that. And our feather is on. And now, all we have to do now is come back and go around it with our fire. Look at that, wow. This is perfect. Let's see what size we ended up with. So this is we have 45 by 26. That's after we fold, allowing an inch. 28 by 45. That's 28 inches. Okay. And then we're going to come in and we're going to seal our edges. Now, if you don't plan on taking your flag off of the pole to wash it, then you can clamp the ends, you can seal your ends. If you're the only one that's going to be using it, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're going to be allowing lots of people to use your flags, then yeah, you may want to leave that opening. You do want to ensure that your tape is sealed, so we do need that additional steam to seal it. I wish I had the room in there with my regular table. It's got the padding and everything, but I don't. No use in wishing in one hand, right? But just so that you could get the idea and see that it works. Make sure it's sealed nice and tight. Make sure our adhesive adhered. Okay. Now we're going to take this. Like I said, if you want to leave your end open, then you simply just cut the end to uniform it. I'm going to show you before I cut it. As you can see how uneven that is. Hope that you can see that. We're going to cut that. Because we want to leave the end open, so let's go ahead and cut that and make it nice and uniformed. Cut a little piece off. And then we're going to go back in. We're just going to seal the end just a little bit like that. And then we're going to come all the way down our flag with it. If you're making these flags and you're not old enough to handle fire, please go and get an adult. Because if you leave this on too long, your material will catch on fire. So you want to be quick about it. You may be able to make the flag, but I would recommend adult supervision. So go grab mom, dad, grandma, big sister, big brother, whoever you need to ensure the safety of you and your household. And we're just going to go around our flag with the fire and make it nice and even. And you only have to do this one time. It seals it and it won't fray when you're swinging it. Makes a nice manufacturer looking sealed end. Take it around. And that's one. That's one of our flags. See? So that's one down, two to go. So now we know we're going to be making them 45 by 26, 27, 28 maybe. Let's do it again. So I'm going to have to write that down, you know, guys, because I'm an old bird. You know, I confess that I have the mind of a 27-year-old. Yeah, and then we're going to give it 28. So we're going to do 28 by 45. Yeah, 28 by 45. So that's what our flags are going to be for inside your home. If you're in a living room, if you have ceiling fans like I do, this is a perfect size. We've got our tip on it, our feather, our guinea feather. You can get all different colors of your guinea feathers. You see there's blue, orange and blue, all the different types of guinea feathers. You can get these in tri-packs from Hobby Lobby, Amazon. These are actual peacock feathers, you know, as well. They all have the eyelet on the end of it as well. And I'm going to be making some more flags. I'll make sure I turn my heat gun on, or my glue gun on, so that we can get more precise with putting our end caps on. I'll show you how to do that properly. Because I forgot and I failed, I had to do it very sloppily, but as you can see, you know, I did it, but it could be done better. This is our flag, our tail flag, 45 by 28, and I'm going to be making the rest of them as well. Guys, like my page, subscribe, dig my website. If you would like to see more on flags, how to make them, different sizes, the box flags, subscribe. Dig our website, Refuge1, Herbal Teacup and More.org. And until next time, happy flag making. If you made these flags, let me know. I'd like to know what you think. But these are going to be for working out. So if you would like to purchase a flag as well, dig my website, Refuge1, Herbal Teacup and More.org. Until next time, bye.